Okay, what it do? Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Clientele podcast. I'm your host, Mr. So 100, J100. You know what it is, the So 100 way. And I got a special guest with me, man. I got Miss Reva Pratcher, Miss BeautyMarked in the building. How you doing, Reva?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I can't complain.
Good.
Welcome to the show. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. First thing I want to do, Reva, is let's let the people know what you do, what I should say, what you bring to the look good and feel good industry.
I'm an esthetician
Mm-hmm.
by trade. I'm also a licensed cosmetologist as well. But what I feel like I bring to the industry is just really look good, feel good,
Yeah,
literally, because when you work in the service industry, it's very gratifying to make someone feel better by the way they look. So
definitely.
I'm the look good and feel good.
Yeah.
For real, for
You
real.
you are the industry. You are
Yes,
the look
yes,
good and feel
yes,
good industry. That's
yes.
what's up.
Yep.
Okay. So how do people book with you?
So honestly, I'm old school. So I
Mm-hmm.
do all of my booking myself right now. And that's just primarily because my lifestyle is busy and entrepreneurship is a choice for me.
Yes.
It doesn't consume my life,
Okay.
thankfully. So I'm able to make my own. I'm able to
Okay.
call my own shots.
So they reach out to you
They reach out to
directly?
me by my website
Okay.
or directly by telephone, and they can just book through me.
What's the website?
BeautyMarkedLifestyle.com. Mm-hmm.
BeautyMarkLifestyle.com.
And let
All
me
right.
just add, one of the reasons why I do like traditional booking is
Mhm.
because a lot of the times, for instance, if you call a doctor's office, right, you have to
Right.
book traditionally. A lot of the times when you call professional service providers like a doctor or a dentist.
Yes.
So for me, I may have someone that inquires about booking a wax, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say that this client is not ready for a wax.
What?
They won't know that by booking online. So
Okay.
by booking directly through me, I can make sure they book the correct service that they need.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Very personable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where are you located?
I'm on Walnut Bend, 320 South Walnut Bend.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's considered Cordova area and in the Agri Center, Memphis,
Okay.
Tennessee.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Y'all heard all that, right?
Yep.
So what about social media? Do you do any interacting as far as booking on
Yes.
social media?
Yes. Beauty Marked by Reva is my Instagram.
Okay.
It's exactly as it sounds. Beauty Marked. That's with the ED. By Reva. And that's pretty much my main social platform. I'm on Facebook, but not as often.
Okay.
And my Facebook is actually just Reva Pratcher. That's my good old government name on
Right.
Facebook. But yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so now that we done got all
Get that
of
out the
that
way.
out the way,
Right.
this is Beyond the Clientele, and so we like to, let the people get to know our guests a little bit more beyond
Okay.
all of that. You know what I'm saying? So, give me a list of things you are beyond your clientele.
But on my clientele, I'm a mother, um, um, wife, um, business owner, hustler, just, all around good person, child of God. I just, live right, do right, very easy to please, very easy to get along with. I'm a people person. I like people. I
Okay.
like good social interactions, good energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, talk a little bit about being a mother. How many children and
4.
4 children?
Mama 4. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is daughter, sons,
3 girls, 1 boy.
3 girls, one
Yes.
boy.
So I'm very busy. But it's a blessing to have children.
Mhm.
And it's a blessing to see them grow and to see them be able to see me maneuver as myself.
Yes.
And so, it's tough for moms, especially moms that just work in general, but a mom that's an entrepreneur is a different level of stress.
Oh yeah.
Because they think they come first, and they do come first.
Right.
But one thing that I try to always keep in the forefront is that I was a person before I was a mom.
Yes.
So mom was a title that I was blessed with. However, it came after, me being me. Yeah. So I'm a mom, but I'm still me.
Okay. That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it.
We're here for me. We ain't here for them. No.
Exactly. Exactly. So talk a little bit about you said you're a wife too.
Right.
Just talk about just a little bit in that aspect.
Oh man, what do I say about that? It's great having a life partner or a spouse or someone to just share hardships with, conversations with, pillow talk, good old pillow talk, good old kicking and having fun. It's great to have a partner that's supportive of being in an industry where I may be slow. I may not be booked. Right. So it's great to have this support, and so far so good. Yeah, very gratifying. Good. It's a good title to have if it works. Yeah. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not.
I always say it's about how you wear it. If you wear it well, right, it'll work for you.
It'll work for you, right? Yeah. And it don't work for everybody, and that's okay too.
That's okay.
That's okay too. Yeah, but for me, it's pretty good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, you also said you were a child of God and a people person. When you say people person, a lot of people kind of get that mixed up. Like you got a whole bunch of friends,
right?
And you pretty a lot of times a people person is passive sometimes. Would you consider yourself a passive people person?
Maybe to some extent. Yeah. Because when you work in the service industry, you have to put the client or the person first. Yeah. To some extent, because you're there to.
Because you almost have to be a chameleon because you got different types of people coming in. Right. And that has a lot to do with why I started this podcast also, because we have to kind of mask who we really are when we're dealing with clientele.
Absolutely.
Sometimes.
Yeah. You have to show up.
Yeah, we may just not be having a good day. Right. But when that client comes in, you still have to interact and put on for them. So that's what a lot of this Beyond the Clientele is about. Because it's like you, like I said, you have to put on a committee for so many different types of people, and then still be yourself. Right. And so that's important. But when you say passive, being a passive people person, would you consider yourself that outside of the clientele?
Yes and no. Because really? I think that your art form, whatever that may be, is a part of your life. Okay. Yeah. Right? So we know how to maneuver. I'll put it that way. Right. I don't take passive and knowing how to adjust. Okay. Is the same thing. And people get that confused, right? Yes. So I always teach my girls to be a thermostat.
Check the temperature.
No, adjust it.
Adjust the temperature.
Make it to what you want.
Okay, true, yeah.
Not a thermometer, right? A thermometer, okay. once you put a thermometer in, it goes up to whatever temperature it is. It is. Okay. A thermostat controls. Exactly. And it adjusts. So I'm a thermostat. Okay. And that's the difference. I'm not passive. Right. But I'm a people person, but I'm a thermostat. So
you can set the tone.
I can bring it down. I can bring it up. I can match your energy, or I cannot. I can mirror my client, or I cannot. Okay. So it's a little bit different than being passive.
That's dope. Yeah. That's dope. I like that. That's real dope. Totally get that. Okay, moving right along then. So I like for people to get a chance to tell their experiences throughout their evolution, right? Mm-hmm. So what I want to ask you is to share a few experiences in your life and your evolution into who you are today, that molded you. And I like to do it in decades. So
Okay.
If you say your childhood, just say 1 to 10.
Okay.
And then 10 to
10
20.
to
But just
20.
share some experiences that stuck with you and you walk with through the life you live today.
Um.
Starting with your first decade.
Okay. 10 to 20. I think the structure
Your
of
first one.
10 to 20.
1 to 10.
1 to 10. Okay, that's
Yeah,
right.
your
1 to 10.
childhood, your the little
The little.
girl Reva.
I think what stuck out to me was being forced to go to church.
Okay. Okay.
I think we all were forced to go to
Yeah,
church. Looking at it now as an adult, I like that our parents wanted to create structure.
Okay.
They wanted to create some sense of obedience. They wanted to
Right.
create some sense of faith.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I
I
know
get
that
that.
it gets very sketchy nowadays, and everybody has their own views and opinions and
Yes.
religions and beliefs. But I think that overall, their goal was just like structure,
Yeah, to put
faith,
some,
a belief
yeah.
system, you know. And that sticks out to me because I had to go to church.
Everywhere where you like, I was there like every time. My stepfather was a deacon,
Oh, so you
and
did
he
church?
drove the van.
Oh, you lived at church?
Oh yeah. So whenever it came down to get to church, we already at church. Church ain't even
Yes.
started. And
Were you tired of church? So did you get tired of church?
Sick of it.
Yes.
I was
But was
like,
it because
nah.
we were bored? Like, were we bored there
What?
or what?
No, I don't think it was boredom. I think because I actually had fun. I played drums and we
Okay.
clowned a little bit, but
Okay.
the fact that we were being forced, well, that was for me. The fact
Right.
I was being forced to go bothered me a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that when you got to church, they wasn't targeting us. You know what I'm
No.
saying? It was like this y'all stuff going right here.
Right.
This ain't us.
We playing with
But
I remember playing with
yeah,
the little program in church because I'm just bored.
yeah,
I'm bored.
you don't have nothing to do.
Right.
But I think being forced was the biggest issue for me. Like I think that was something that you should have had a
An
option
option.
in some shape form.
Right.
I mean, of course, you got the rules. You live under my roof. You do as I say. But I
Exactly.
think it should have been some type of option to it. Maybe every Sunday. But every time the door unlocked, you
Yeah.
gotta be there.
Well, y'all were intertwined into the business aspect of it, right?
No, I wasn't.
Well, you were
He
by
was.
default.
Right. Right. My point exactly.
Which may have brought all of this, right? It just
Nah.
taught us.
Nah.
It taught a structure.
Nah.
It did. No. Okay. Okay. We're not
Not
gonna
for
roll with
me.
it. We're not gonna roll with it.
But it probably worked for you like that. But it didn't work for me.
I just looking back on it, I do understand.
Oh, I totally understand. I
Right.
totally and that's about just the evolution of life. I understand my parents. There's
Right.
the people that they were. So
Yes.
I don't have a issue with it. And it did help me become who I am
To some extent,
to
right?
some extent.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, but that's my like a very big core memory is just the structure we had when it came to church and that routine. And it's
Okay.
like and family also holidays.
Oh yeah. Now that was a big part of it. I can
Right.
say that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
those are
definitely
the
brought the
biggest,
family together.
the biggest core memories I feel like I had from 1 to 10. Yep.
Okay, so now we're gonna get into the 10 to 20.
10
And I
to
know
20.
you got, you're coming out of elementary, middle school, you got high school.
That's a
It's a
big
lot. That's a big
decade.
decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that decade is a very important aspect of life. So tell us about it.
10 to 20. Let's see. 10 to 20 is very pivotal because you become, like you said, you go from a child to, a young adult.
Yeah.
What you think is a full adult, right? You know how you felt like,
oh yeah,
you know it,
oh yeah,
and you don't. So, that aspect. But if I speak about it from the context of like beyond the clientele and the entrepreneur and the industry I work in, I think for me, um, being a young black girl and dealing with issues when it came to self-esteem or appearance is kind of what helped mold me to be the woman I am, but be working the industry that I work in.
Okay.
Right? Because we all were mesmerized by what we thought was beauty. Yes. Whether it was a certain type of woman that we looked up to or another friend that we looked up to. That's when you start to form your opinion about what you like, dislike, what you think looks good or doesn't look good is when you get your style.
Yeah.
You know, as a young middle schooler, that's when you start to change physically,
develop,
and you start getting a little attitude, and you start, feeling yourself. And so I think that is very pivotal, a very pivotal time. But for me, I know it was kind of like a make or break, like, one way or the other. Either you feel like you got it or you feel like you don't. Yeah. And I think I kind of felt a little in between.
Really?
Yeah.
So tell me a couple of experiences that you think stuck with you during that time, like that kind of it could have been it could have been an altercation where somebody may have said something about you and you had to overcome what they said, or it didn't bother you. You know what I mean? It's different experiences that I know. I can just say one of mine. A big joke when I was a youngster. Whenever somebody wanted to crack on me, they talked about my lips. They'd be like, "You big lip, big lip," and me, I thought my lips were pretty fine. You know what I'm saying? So I used to be like, that don't hurt my feelings.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So, but I knew individuals who, whatever people talk bad about, it affected them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it can go either way. Because I could have turned around like walking around trying to hide my lips. I thought I was like, but I think it was going back to that first decade where I had my family, my aunties. Oh, that boy got some pretty lips. Look
They
at
instilled it in
So
you,
whenever I
right?
got to that age, they checking. I'm like, well, they done told me these lips pretty all my life.
I don't know
So
what you're
I'm
talking
like, I don't know
about.
what you talking about. So, but I know, like you were saying though, that those are those pivotal times when your self-esteem is being developed. So it can be one attack can change
It can
your
make
whole
you or break
feeling
you,
about
literally.
yourself. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
And it's different for girls versus
Oh,
guys,
for
right?
sure.
It's
For
so many
sure.
different things. I remember being in 6th grade and just looking around the classroom because it's a completely new school and just wondering, like, who gonna like me, or who, because you kind of like start feeling yourself, but then you don't know what maybe the boys are attracted to, so you trying to figure out what
you need confirmation. Almost.
which instills that confidence.
Definitely.
So I think things like that. I can't think of one specific moment, but I do remember specifically like wanting like to get braids. That was like a big deal because this was
thought that was
the style, right? That's equivalent to, I guess, a bust down frontal. You know what I mean? Some 30 inches. That's equivalent to that. But back in the day, brandy, braids, like that's the style. That's what you want. And I remember asking for this specifically, and I remember going to someone who was actually a relative wanting to get braids. She really didn't do them that well. And I went home disappointed.
Because you're like, these joints ain't like brandy.
They ain't look like brandies. And mama paid for them, so that's what I was stuck with.
Hey, mama, you wear this for at least a good 2-3 weeks.
So I took my braids down and rebraided them one by one. Got to school. My homegirl was like, who did your hair? Like, I did my hair. That's when it started.
Okay. That's when, a big pivot right there.
That was a pivot. Yeah. That's when it started. I started doing hair in 7th, 8th grade.
Okay.
Yeah. So that moment of disappointment.
That's exactly what I mean right there.
It catapulted me into me.
I heard that.
Yeah. That's a very vivid memory from 10 to 20. And then just becoming, a young lady, late teens, I'll say, and just, maneuvering through life and just kind of deciding you want to be a little grown and a little sexy, and then that changes how you dress and how you respond and things like that.
Get your little game together.
Get a little saucy.
Yeah.
Yep. So those are very pivotal moments that stick out to me.
Okay. So let's take it up in just a little later years. Say late teens. I know it's something between them late teens and 20,
Late
maybe.
teens. Late teens. Oh, what was I doing late teens?
It should hit you. This is something
Late,
that's still you
I'm
right
thinking.
now.
Okay, so late teens, like graduation, like after
Maybe,
graduation,
yeah,
maybe.
anyway.
So, okay, I can't, okay. So after graduating, not knowing what I wanted to do,
Okay.
very naturally talented. I've always been very naturally talented,
Mm-hmm.
but feeling as though a career as maybe a hairstylist wasn't considered a real career to our generation of parents.
Okay.
That thought that you had to work for 40 years, retire.
Okay.
You know, and I remember not being confident saying that I don't want to go to college.
Okay.
So that's like late teens where I was. Yeah, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, but deep down having a talent that I didn't really understand to be a gift and a talent.
Yeah.
I just thought it was very natural to know how to do hair.
Yeah.
And
you thought it was a
fix
woman
yourself
thing,
up.
man.
I thought it was a woman thing.
Yeah.
But I was 18, 19 doing auntie hair, mama hair, sister hair, and I'm just naturally doing it.
Never knowing that this
Absolutely.
can be your career or whatever.
Yep.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah. So when did you make the decision to say I'm going at this 100%?
Because I didn't want to do anything else.
Oh, you made it still at that time. You didn't let them deter you.
Yes and no. So, I decided I was going to enroll in cosmetology school.
Okay.
And my mom was like, "That ain't a real job."
Really?
However, she didn't know any successful hairstylists. She didn't know
go
any.
to the beauty shop because you was doing that.
She didn't. Right. She didn't know salon owners. You know what I mean?
Right.
And granted, she's been taught this is the way you do it.
Yeah,
you get a job, you retire, or you go to college.
Yeah.
You know, and so I remember being in school, but not still 100% thinking about it as a actual career.
Okay.
Just kind of like, I'm gonna glide through. I'm gonna see what happened. But yeah.
Okay. So she kind of made it hard for you to just hone in on it in that aspect.
Right.
Even though you still knew I'm gonna get these licenses, but
yeah, I was very talented, but I was still kind of in the back of my head like, well, this really ain't a real job.
Yeah, because she had said
my mama said so.
But man, look at it now.
Look at it now. Right. But that's why it's important to have these type of, conversations so they know that it is real. They know now because there's so many avenues for them to know. But yeah, it was tough for us to know. I'm sure you probably grew up the same way where even before you got in this industry, you may not have really known a bunch of like platform artist barbers or celebrity barbers.
Right,
like we didn't,
I'm gonna tell you something crazy about me though. I was cutting hair at like 12, 13, and I never aspired to be a barber. You know what I mean? It was always like just a secondary hustle.
It was natural. Yeah.
I would do it just on the side. And
so what was your thought process? Was your thought process that I'm doing this on the side, right? So when you're 10 to 20s, were you thinking I'm doing this on the side and I'm gonna get a job, or I'm gonna doing this on the side and I'm gonna go, like, what was your thought process?
I literally was just, I come from a family of the men just have different skills, mechanics, carpenters. My stepfather just know how to
naturally gifted.
Naturally, right?
Yeah.
So when I just looked at it as another skill to have under my belt.
Okay.
But in my latter years, I had babies.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was a teenage father, and so
you got to start.
Yeah, I had to get to it. So I mean, being as far as a job where I was from, it wasn't a whole lot of those. But I always just saw myself big. I always used to.
Okay.
I mean, my dream used to. Whenever somebody say what you want to be in life, I used to say I want to be famous.
Really?
Because I had so many talents to be, like I felt like I should be big someday.
Right. I hear that a lot, but I never just had the desire.
I used to have that desire. And not even about money, though. It was just
Just
about.
famous. I hear that
I
a
just
lot.
felt like you know what I'm saying. I have family members talk about sending me the Star Search. You know what I'm saying? All kind of crazy. I used to be on
That's how they gonna help you
everything.
get
Yeah.
famous.
Yeah, but I ended up going to the military and everything, you know, later. But having kids young kind of, I don't know,
Okay.
it just kind of made me go. It was like I had to go pursue something, and I think the military was a big deal for me and I think I changed my life doing that. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I went to the military at 20,
Okay.
but you know, I know that this is beyond the clientele about
Right.
you, but
Right. Right.
I went to the military at 20, and I had two daughters and two on the way.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was my first decade. You know, I
That's a
mean my second
decade. That's a
decade. Like,
decade.
so whenever when people talk about it, I look at it. I got so many pivotal moments in mind,
Yeah.
but everybody don't have that because you was living your normal
That's
age
true.
life. You know, I
And
was
I think
living
they have
way
it, but
ahead of
they
my
may
time.
not realize that it's a pivotal moment.
Yeah, yeah,
Because the
yeah.
realization is different.
It comes later. It
It
usually
comes,
comes later.
yep,
Yeah.
it does come later.
Like you said about being a teen and thinking you know it all, but then when you
Mm-hmm.
become 30, you realize
You
I
ain't no
really didn't
shit.
know shit. Yeah, you be like, I was a dumb motherfucker for
Nothing.
real,
I heard just thugging it out for
reckless.
real, real reckless, and don't
Yeah,
even know you're
but all the
reckless.
time you just don't want to listen to what people
Yes. Or you
telling
think
you.
you're grown. You just,
Yeah,
I know it all.
you just transitioning into the adulthood, I guess. So, tell me about your 20 to 30.
20 to 30 motherhood.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
the biggest pivot ever
Yes.
for a woman, I'm sure.
Yes. Yeah. Motherhood, marriage.
Okay.
Yeah, and then still trying to like navigate yourself through that and find and keeping yourself and finding yourself, which I
Yeah.
didn't realize how important that was.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that was the biggest influence is just having to adjust, you know,
It's
and put
not
myself
just
on a
you.
back burner
Yeah, it's
and
not
just,
just you anymore.
yeah, and it came very naturally.
Natural.
Like it
Yeah.
wasn't an issue, but it's just, and you really don't even look up to realize that you have stepped away from yourself
Yeah.
until years later. I don't know. Some women may realize it at year one or year two, but I feel like I was two kids in, and maybe I had been a mother for 6 or 7 years before I realized, like, you are a different person.
Yeah.
Because I was just going with the
Yeah.
flow
You
and,
was going with motherhood.
right.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize that changed me. And then when I did, it was kind of like, okay, let me,
Yeah, you had to come back
yeah,
come
yeah,
back to you. But that's the natural, organic motherhood
it
that happened
is.
to you. That's how it really supposed to be. That's why I think it's important for a young lady to live. You know, I have daughters, so I think it's important for you to live a little bit more before you make that jump into
Most of us
motherhood.
don't get that option, or I don't
That,
feel like it.
yeah, they
Because you
don't.
don't even realize what you're doing.
Yeah,
Like you
you
just
don't.
jump back to saying we think we grown. So we're not
Yes,
realizing how
yes,
much life is going to change with the baby.
yeah,
And a lot of us grow up with our children.
definitely.
You
I know
know?
I did.
Yeah.
I know I
So
did.
you didn't realize that, hey, I'm a whole daddy out here.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
or the mom was a whole mama. It's
yeah.
just kind of like
And
you
it
going
was,
through the motions and it hit you one day,
yeah.
like, wow.
It was crazy too because my kids' moms were older. So when I was
Okay.
16, yeah, she was 19.
Oh, wow.
So she was grown already, like
So she already like, yeah.
yeah. And I was still going to high school every day coming, but I'm living like a grown man. Though I done left home. I don't live at home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, real. I've been a daddy for real from jump. Like I've been right there with him the whole ride.
Yeah.
So I left home at 16, living with my baby mama at the
Yeah.
time. Like, but I'm getting up in the morning, go to school, get out of school, come back home, get in the
To
streets.
to dad
I
life.
was really doing it like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why I talk about those pivotal moments. Like I know mine is different. You know, when I was 16 doing that,
Yeah,
it was
that's
a
different.
kid. He getting ready to go to college. You know what I'm saying? He trying to make D1 or something in
Yeah.
football. Not me. I was in a different
Wow.
zone.
Mm.
So I feel like and it's totally different for women for
Mhm.
sure because they take the baby home.
Mhm.
You know, but I'm one of the fathers that I went home with the
You
baby
went home,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't going to mama house. I was with my kids. And,
Right there.
yeah, so
Okay.
it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so okay, motherhood,
Mhm.
wife,
Yep.
and I ain't gonna put no age on you, but
Oh,
it
it's
ain't no other
yeah.
decade in there. It's
Wait, I'm at
30.
the end. I'm at the end
Oh,
of the
okay,
decade, but I'm
okay.
comfortable with how old I am.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah,
Look how
yeah,
good you
yeah.
look.
I
I'm sure you're
appreciate that.
comfortable with that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But so this past say what 7, 8?
Mhm.
How's that been for
Becoming a mother again.
you? Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Crazy.
yeah.
Crazy.
But it's now it's natural now though.
Yeah, it's different though.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's
different
different.
and it's a little boy too, so
It's
I
a
know that's
boy.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah. But then I added entrepreneurship. We added
Yes.
a pandemic.
Oh yeah. Oh
Right.
yeah.
So there's stuff that, we
That's
weren't
yeah,
prepared for. So
definitely.
they were back to back, like, deciding I want to be an entrepreneur, pandemic, baby,
Yeah.
and then the baby's here. So yeah.
Okay.
So
That's
it's
a
been
real journey.
interesting. Yeah, it's been a roller
It's
coaster.
beautiful though. That's
It
beautiful. Like
is.
I said, that's by at this point I'm sure you're a natural mother.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sure that's like that's you now. That you said at
Mhm.
first it was like you became a mother and forgot about you, but now that's all in one
It's
melting
it's
pot.
it's still, I think, I still think that they're two
Okay.
separate. I think they should be considered separate entities, right?
Okay.
Because you just you can't combine the two,
Yeah.
right? You can't combine any of them. You can't put the wife and the mother and the entrepreneur role. Yes, they all mesh together, but they're
Yeah.
still separate.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So even though it's very natural and it's the norm for me, I'm at a point where I'm very much so like I was someone before I was a
Okay.
mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to keep that at the forefront.
It's hard to,
Hmm.
but that's one thing I've been very intentional about,
Okay.
specifically this year.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. That's a real jump for your evolution
It
too. That's
is. It's important.
yeah,
Yep.
very, very.
So I tell moms that I'm like, don't forget, who you
Yeah.
were before, and stick to your goals and your plans. Be a mom, but
Hmm.
still, whatever you got to do to get back to you. I always tell moms that, because you're not really told that either.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And I totally agree with that.
Yep.
Totally. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that was a real good elaboration on your evolution. You know what I mean? I got a few more questions for you though.
Okay.
Is it something that you would like to share with the people that that they don't know about you, or something that you just want to make sure people know about you? Is there
I
anything?
think it's so much, but I think
The
that,
most important, like a key point,
oh my goodness,
like when you see me, know this.
I don't, oh, that's so hard.
Really?
Yes, that's hard. I don't know what I would pick. I don't know if I had to pick anything. Let me think. Oh, I really don't know.
You
Like,
probably spoke on a big part of it. I would say by saying like what you said earlier about being a thermostat.
oh, okay, yeah,
That's
okay,
actually that. I mean, that's just something that came back to me with the
okay,
question that I'm asking. That is that's important. That's
yeah,
something that everybody should know about
yeah.
you. That's real.
I don't know. I don't.
And that was a good analogy. I
I
never heard it put like that.
really.
That was dope. I gotta
Yeah,
give you
I
that.
teach.
That was
I
dope.
I really believe in it. And I teach my girls it because I feel like
That's something
it
power. That's
controls
so
so much.
powerful right there. That's powerful in so many ways.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I can't think of one thing because I feel like I'm very complex, but I'm also very simple.
Yeah.
I'm a Gemini.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
with that being said,
So
I feel
it
like,
at least has to be two
yeah,
things.
I feel like that's a good forewarning for people to be like, maybe, maybe not. Maybe she
Okay.
hot, maybe she cold. So
Okay.
I'll say I'm a Gemini, but I do still feel like character wise, like feel like I have good character, good morals. I believe in like treating people right.
Yeah.
You know, just simple stuff. Just simple stuff. I believe in being, you know,
simple
smiling,
things are
speaking.
important.
Yeah, just regular stuff.
Yeah, those things are very
nothing
important.
Too special.
That's
right.
What's up. That leads me to my next question. What would you consider your wow factor?
I probably wouldn't say it because I'm a Gemini. I don't know. It's a lot of those too.
Yeah.
Let me think of one that's I can say. I don't know.
It got what makes people say wow in a conversation about you? It got to be something.
Can't say that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I probably can't say that. I don't. I don't know. I feel like even though I may come across reserved, I'll say that. Okay, I may come across very reserved, but I'm really not.
Oh, okay.
So if you know, you know. If you don't,
so they'll think you're reserved until they see. That's when they like, wow,
right.
That's that Gemini stuff, right?
Yeah, I say that.
Yeah, you know how to show. You know how to switch sides.
I know how to present myself, but I also we're gonna leave it at that.
Get active.
If you know, you know.
That's what's up. Okay, I want you to finish a sentence for me.
Okay.
It hurts me to see.
Oh, the young generation. The new normal. The new what's the new normal? It's just
that's bad.
It's tough to see.
Yeah, that is. That hurts me too. Yeah. Tell me something that tell them something that you like most about being you, about yourself.
That I feel like I give off good energy to people, and that I feel like I can, you know, smile and show up for people to some extent, right?
Yeah.
It may not mean I'm showing up for someone financially, but even if it's just being a listening ear, or if it's just saying something to make somebody laugh, I feel like I still have some ability, even though I have all this going on, to still show up for someone else to some extent.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So, is it anything that you don't like about yourself that you feel like you can't shake, or that you would love to change, but it just has become you, and it's just like it is what it is?
Being hard on myself. Imposter syndrome. And yeah, those are the two most things. Yeah. The two things that I think that
you just can't help it.
Sometimes, yeah. Most of the times I can't help it, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you consider to be your biggest vice, or that you ever had or have? You know what I mean? What would you consider your biggest vice? And it doesn't have to be a bad one, just that you ever had, like I say, had or have.
Holding a grudge.
Holding a grudge.
Yep.
Can't shake this shit.
Sometimes I can't shake.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
That little, how they back in the day, you see the little angel and the little devil, and the devil be like, man, fuck that. And I was trying to be like, no, don't be that way. So,
the devil like, nah, I said fuck that shit. Yeah.
That's about it though. Like that's really about it.
That's not a bad advice.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah, it's not a lot of people think that, but it'd be like, I mean, something created the grudge. So
right.
Leave it where
I just want to
be
able to let it go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just be like, let it go. Yeah. Especially if it doesn't affect your day to day. If it doesn't affect your finances, your family, where you are.
But it's still fuck.
Yeah. I just want you to know.
Yeah.
It's still fuck you.
Yeah. I think I learned a strategy with that. To they call it the old school killing with kindness type, but not in a actual way, but one of them type of what's up? Mother started talking like, oh give me a minute.
Yeah.
Walk off on your head, but we cool though.
Right.
But I don't fuck with you for real. here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But what up? Good. Yeah. I ain't seen you in a long time.
Yes.
You walk off on their ass. You know what I'm saying? Well,
Yes.
it's still all good. I don't want to fight or nothing, but
I'm gonna leave you where you hanging.
Leave your ass standing
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
They might be in the middle of a conversation, not be looking off.
That's a good. I like that tactic.
Yeah, hey.
Let me take the phone call right quick.
You do them like that. It's so cool to do them like that, and then it's like they really start to realize this nigga don't fuck with me, man.
But he was so nice, nasty.
At first,
that's what women call nice, nasty.
That what y'all call it?
You know, when the old lady be like, "You have a blessed day," but you know she really don't mean
really
have a blessed day.
Don't give a damn how your day goes.
Right. Yeah. She really mean the exact opposite.
Right.
But you don't even know how to receive it.
Look,
you know.
I was so cold.
So yeah.
You see them like you might have a little tension, right?
Right.
But then when you run into them, they automatically assume the tension.
They ready.
Yeah, I'm like, what's up, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna shake the nigga hand, everything. But I'm gonna give him such a cold shoulder. You know what I'm saying? That he gonna still know. Oh, it's still fucking. You know
okay.
That's a cold strategy. I'm telling you, it works too.
Okay.
It works good. It works for men and women. It's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, they gonna feel it. And then they might think they got the ups on them until you hit them with the spin. They be like,
and they leave them thinking. They be like, wait a minute.
Like, you got your ass. This is exactly what he do.
Okay, I like that.
For real. I'm talking about, man, leave that. They get to talking. You get in your phone on there like this. And I ain't studying that shit you talking about, man. Go on now. But yeah, that's a real one. Tell me, what does the word humble mean to you?
A lot.
What?
Everything. Like it just.
Now let me do this.
Okay.
Let me do this first. Okay. Because I feel like humble. Okay, just the definition of humble. Humble is having or showing a modest or low estimate of oneself. Okay. Now, me, I don't give a damn about humble.
I know.
In the aspect of now, look, it's real. This is real, right?
Okay.
I feel like life will humble you. Okay.
It will.
Life will humble you.
It will.
Things, real things like I believe in being humble to wisdom and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I believe in being humble to constructive criticism.
Okay.
I believe in being humble to a higher power. But
anything else?
Why would I humble me for you? Because just look at this scenario. You're in the element of successful people, and you say, I'm successful in this. We'll make it simple. Just say you're in a room with a bunch of people with master's and bachelor's degrees.
Okay.
And you say, man, I just got my motherfucking degree. I'm on my level. Yeah.
Right.
It don't bother them.
Right.
But when you're in the room with a bunch of high school dropouts,
right,
and you say, man, I got my bachelor's degree, and they be talking about be humble, you got me fucked up because I done put this work in. So that's why I feel like I really don't care for humble in the aspect of that. But don't get me wrong, I believe humble is necessary. But it's certain things that you got to be humble to, and I don't think it's people or amongst people. It has to be that.
To me, it's more so like within myself. Like let me stay humble within myself.
Yes.
But no, from the aspect of those
celebrating your wins, I'm saying
it's tough because it often gets turned into
bragging.
Absolutely. Just had a
popping your shit.
Just had a very in-depth conversation about that.
Yeah.
Complete situation. So yeah, it's a gray area. But if you are surrounding yourself with those that don't look at it as a threat, then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, because they'll celebrate it with you.
Absolutely. They probably have more to celebrate to some extent, and you want to be around there, right?
Definitely.
But if everybody around you has a tension about where you are, then it is difficult. And I still think that it's more difficult for women than it is men. Because there's always, just like even if you consider the rap, like a lot of people compare the rap game, right? How, male rappers can collaborate and go on tour. And then you get your female rappers and it's like they beefing and they
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
like each
yeah,
other and they're
yeah,
opposite and she looks
yeah.
better. It's the same scenario. So it still happens with us as women.
Mm-hmm.
In general, it's different.
Right.
So you have a different outlook on it than we do as women,
Yeah.
and it's tough. It's very tough.
But my outlook, I think it came from life experiences more so than anything though, because
Right.
it was a time where you know you had to be humble
Yes.
because you didn't have it, or you know what I'm saying, you wanted it or
Right.
knew you should.
Right.
Those are the humbling times. That's why I say it's like
Mhm.
life will humble you,
It will.
and you have to walk in that. You know what I mean? Even competition will humble you. You know, I
Oh
think you
yeah.
should be humble to competition.
That's healthy.
That's healthy.
That's
Yes.
healthy. It's
That's
very
what
healthy.
that's what good sportsmanship
But it
is.
takes a certain mindset to think about humbleness from their perspective, because
Yeah.
there's a certain whole generation that don't look at it that way.
Yeah, they don't see it.
So
The word humble means to you?
it means just an overall awareness of that middle child syndrome, that gray area syndrome.
Okay.
You're not where you started, but you still want somewhere else to go.
Okay.
So you can take some constructive criticism. You can take, but you're not where you started. You've elevated, you've grown,
Definitely.
you got some experience under your belt, but you're
don't
not
act like you there.
It's okay if
there
you
yet.
maybe act like you're there, but still have room to grow. Don't think you know everything.
True.
You know what I mean? So
True.
that, to me, that's kind of where it is.
Okay.
I love Hard Knocks, like when they do the NFL training camp.
Oh yeah.
Because it's just like these are top paid performing athletes, and they just like down to the gritty. Like they gotta like get it in. They gotta like train. They gotta be isolated. They have to go through the whole process, and I like that because even though these are top performing athletes,
right? They should. You think they already got it, but they let them know it's
gotta
another level,
right?
It's
And I like the gray area where you kind of like you're not at the bottom, but you're not at the top. You kind of just kind of keep climbing, and you got to condition yourself to get better
to that next level,
with a certain amount of humbleness.
Yes,
that's what I like about it.
Okay, I can dig that. Okay, that leads me to my next question.
Okay.
My next question would be, what does loyalty mean to you?
I don't know. I don't know. I just try not to overconsume myself with the thought of it because I think you get disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot more than I think you expect to. But I think it can. It's true, but it's very rare, few far and in between.
Mm-hmm.
So I try not to overconsume myself with the thought process of loyalty because I think what I've experienced lately is that people get longevity and loyalty confused when it comes to relationships sometimes and friendships.
I never looked at it like that.
Yeah,
that's true though. Longevity and loyalty, like, are we been friends for this long, and they think that it automatically puts them in a position, or
it's a sense of loyalty there, but a lot changes. So it changes.
Is it loyalty or is it history?
That part.
Yeah.
So I kind of try not to put too many emphasis on it because it gets real weird.
Okay, so I'm sure you'll probably feel the same about the next word, love.
I don't know. I feel different about love, right? Because you can love someone, and I don't think that loyalty, I guess maybe they align, but if I love you, I love you.
Yeah.
Like I love you in your faults, in your wrongs, in your bad decisions.
Yeah.
And I'm still, I don't know. I don't really know that loyalty things. I think it feels like I'm submitting some type of honor to you. It seems so.
I think loyalty
heavy.
Yeah, it's like it's a trick to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's based on it's gonna be kind of funny because it's like I think it's based on the expectations that they may have, and they may be different than yours. See, so you could say when you say, okay, I'm gonna be loyal to you based on who I am,
Mm-hmm.
but they may want you to be loyal to them based on who they are,
Lord knows this is
and
true.
that's a big difference. You know what I mean? So that's and you
Mm-hmm.
can still say I'm loyal to you based on
Right.
who I am. What do you mean?
Right.
But this shit you talking about is
It's
different.
different. That's why I don't put too much emphasis on it, because that's exactly the experience that
Yeah,
I've had been having in my adult life. Yep.
yeah. I can dig
So
that.
I just try not to put too much emphasis on it. Like I try to extend my love, my
Okay,
grace, my blessings, and try to let that be enough to override any thought process that loyalty has anything to do with how I feel about you.
okay,
Right.
okay.
Because loyalty may mean to someone that, they may want you to agree to their lifestyle. Right? And if you don't agree with it, you ain't down. You're not
Right,
loyal. But that's not true.
That's some
I still
bullshit.
love you.
Yeah,
I
now you
just
want me
ain't
to
with it.
follow you. That's what you want. Yeah, that's a difference.
Where to do that?
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they
We
don't
ain't
do
doing
that
that.
around here. No, not
We
around
ain't
these
doing it.
parts. Yeah, not around these parts.
Yeah, so that's why I feel like it kind of be like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can dig it. I can dig it. Okay, I really got one more good one for you.
Okay.
What is your plans for the next 3 to 5 years as far as beyond the clientele?
Beyond the clientele,
Yeah,
outside
not
of work.
outside of. Yeah, I know what you as an entrepreneur. I'm one too, so of course you want
Okay.
to prosper.
You
You
always
want to, yeah,
want to make some more
yeah, of
money.
course. So we know
Okay.
that.
I
But
like that
beyond the
perspective.
clientele, what is your vision for you, Reva? Even outside
Reva.
of like you said, you keep that separate. So even
Right.
outside of motherhood,
Outside of all of
entrepreneurship,
that.
all of that, what is your vision for yourself for the next 3 to 5?
To grow spiritually
Okay.
more. To be healthy.
Mm.
Just try to, still work on when I'm eating,
Yeah.
alcohol intake, my energy I give off, like being positive, being really, like I'm working a lot on discipline.
Okay.
So that's been my biggest, like that's been my word of the year: discipline.
Discipline, yeah.
Discipline, structure,
That's the most important.
consistency.
That's the most important thing
That's the
in
most
life.
important thing in life.
I
And
really
it
feel like
sounds
that.
bizarre, I feel like, to the people in my household, because I talk about it so much. I know they sick of it.
Yeah, I had a conversation with my daughters one time, and I'm a widow father, so I raised four of them by myself. So they had it was a situation with my baby girl, and a couple of them didn't agree with it or whatever. So
Didn't
they
agree with what she did?
no without
Your
how I handled
opinion,
it.
how
Yeah,
you
how I
handled it.
handled the situation. Right.
Okay.
And from my standpoint, just not to get into all the details,
Right.
it was something that as a father I couldn't relinquish and give back and allow you to do wrong. I had to force you to do right in this situation, right?
Okay. I have to ask off camera, how do you force an adult to do right? But
No,
okay, we'll talk about that later.
yeah.
Okay.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I know. I can tell. I'm gonna give you a little piece of it so you can
Okay.
kind of understand me. Um, she had me. She put some money in my hand to maintain her vehicle and her insurance or whatnot,
Okay.
right? And it came a time where she needed some money, and she was like, "Well, just give me that."
And you said no?
And I said, "Well, the insurance, I'm not finna relinquish that back because you put it in my hands."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I just felt like as a father, and then this is a college adult, not a adult.
Adult.
You know what I'm saying? You're in college and you doing right. We got this plan together. All this is agreed upon in the beginning.
Okay.
So when you hand it to me and say this is for that, I thought that was a great thing for you. So I'm doing that.
Okay.
And so then you turn around and say, well, forget the insurance. I want my money. So me as a father, I'm not gonna put you out there like because you gave me that control. Now you don't have to have insurance when it lapses. But for this part that you gave me as a father, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
Right? And a couple of them was upset, like, well, it's hers. I feel you, but that's my daughter. As a father, I feel
You made
guilty
the
if I do that.
decision.
I wouldn't have felt right. Like I believe you should have it. We agreed in the beginning. I'm not gonna change my train of thought and just nah, you ain't getting that back. We gonna
Because
maintain
they
this
gave it
insurance.
to you for a reason.
Yeah, so it was this is not just, my stash, getting my money, it's not that.
Mm-hmm.
It's strictly this is for that. I put it and it was on mine. It was on my insurance, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So instead of me just handing it back to you, I said, well, you're gonna keep that. So long story short,
Mm-hmm.
I made the decision to say, okay, you know what? I got you. I took it down from full coverage to liability and gave her the change.
Okay.
That's how I ended up working it out. Crazy story. I did that Wednesday. They went to
I know what you
TSU
about to say.
homecoming and had a wreck.
I know what you about
You
to
hear
say.
me? Went straight to TSU homecoming that weekend, had a wreck, and guess what the police told her? Her
What?
airbag it went off, but it was just a fender bender. Somebody hit her. It was just a fender bender. But because she had insurance
Mm-hmm.
and she was from Memphis, they let her go and drive off. And you know, when your air, if I don't know if you know, but if your airbag goes off, they really don't supposed to
It's
let you
supposed to
drive.
tow?
Yeah,
I
they
didn't know
supposed to.
that.
Yeah, because
Okay.
now it's not safe for another
That
accident.
makes sense. But thank God I'm a
Technically.
good driver.
Yeah,
Hallelujah. So I didn't
but
know that.
they let her roll because
Okay.
they knew it wasn't bad. Knew nobody was hurt. They let her. And it's a bunch of college kids, so they were like, "You
Right.
good," because she had insurance. Now, if I would have cut the insurance off a couple months and
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't verify that, it would have been a problem. But it all worked out. However, back to the situation, it was funny because we all had just a little, father daughter talk, and they were kind of, venting a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I was a single parent, so one of them made a statement and said, you wasn't there when we was crying. We cried on each other's shoulders, and I'm like, that's
Oh.
what y'all was supposed to do, y'all sisters. That's
That's
what
true.
sisters do. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to go. And I had to explain to them that y'all was not. It wasn't that I wasn't doing right. Y'all just was missing the mother. Yeah, I didn't have it. I didn't have the nurturing that you needed. My mama
Yeah.
was gone, you know what I'm saying? And one bust out and said, really, all you really gave us was discipline. And I said, you know what? I can die today with that because that's going to be the most important
Yeah.
thing in your
My
life.
children think the same
Every
thing.
aspect of your life requires discipline.
Well,
Now, if I gave you that,
that you
I
did
can
job
honor
well
that.
done.
Yeah.
Well, I think most, I can't say children because I've only experienced this with my daughters because my daughters are the only ones of age to respond. My son is too young.
Yeah.
But that's how my daughters feel.
Yeah.
And I'm the difference is I'm there to try to be you know, try to be a buffer to say, it's not just that,
Yeah.
and you didn't have that, unfortunately. So they
Yeah.
took it as like stone cold,
Yeah, but
yeah.
now mind you, now when you say when I speak the word discipline, I'm not talking about like whooping. I'm talking about just the structure.
I never thought that. I know what you
Yeah,
mean. I
yeah,
know what you
and I'm
mean.
like that is the most important aspect of
Yes,
life.
I know what you mean when you say
Okay,
discipline
okay,
because we all,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
generationally, we know I got my ass beat,
yeah,
and
yeah,
discipline mean two completely different things. And
definitely,
we're
yeah,
trying to discipline.
yeah,
That's sometimes where people think there's a flaw or a fault in
yeah,
parenting, that we're trying to gentle parent or discipline, whereas we ain't get discipline. We got the
yeah.
strap.
Nah. But that aspect of life is necessary, and I feel like
It
with,
definitely is
with me,
necessary.
everything I've ever done, that's what got me through it.
Yeah.
Discipline.
And what we experienced, it
Yeah.
may have been tough, it may have been rough, it may have been not the
Yeah.
unorthodox,
They
so to speak.
overdid it
Yeah,
sometimes,
but
but yeah.
unfortunately, kind of just yeah,
So discipline is
it's
necessary, and that's a
necessary.
great thing to put at the
Yes,
top of the list
yes.
for your
It the
life.
difference is I'm trying to teach self discipline.
Yes. You
I'm trying
react.
to
Yeah.
yes, I'm trying to structure it at a young age from self because this is the result that you get from A and B, two
Yeah.
plus two equals four. So if you do this and you do that, to
You'll
some
get
extent
this
you're gonna get this. It may
every
not
time.
be you know, but that's what's tough to try to teach self-discipline.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I am.
Like I don't get it where kids don't wake themselves up for school and stuff. People don't even. I don't understand that.
I don't even recall that. I don't recall that detail of my childhood, but my children wake themselves up, and
Man.
I'm very proud that they do.
Yeah,
They do.
my kids will be up and dressed and come hit the door. We ready.
I
And I
also
go take them to school. That's how this.
really,
Yeah, they was
yeah,
on point.
mine do that. Mine do that, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I consider it normal, but I know sometimes I'll wake up like and I'll hear them bopping
Moving and
around,
groove.
and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
You hear that water
Every
running.
now and then.
Yeah.
So far this school year, one day that they didn't all get up,
And that's
and
okay though.
and that was the day after the fair.
Yeah, that's
You know
okay.
what I mean?
It's just known that it's a fact that that's what's
Mhm.
supposed to be going on.
Right.
And I don't understand when people talk about that. Like, I had to get my kid up for school, and they like.
Well, are you talking to dads and moms? Because okay,
both of them, they be on that. You know, being a barber, and I be like, it's just such a far fetched conversation for me.
You
like,
said that ain't your problem.
I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Man, this nigga 14. You woke him up.
Yeah, that's a little.
He was late.
14 ain't right.
What? I don't get that.
The only one who lags is the 8-year-old, and they still be on her. But the other two, the older girls, they get on
up and moving
like clockwork. But you know, I kind of discipline based on their response. So you know, I'm not super strict on the bedtime because they get up in the morning.
Okay,
but if
that makes
you
sense.
know they don't get up in the morning, then I may have to make some adjustments. But for the most part, because just like I would have to make some adjustments. So for instance, they don't like that they have a screen. Oh, I don't want to cover this. They don't like that they have a screen time, but I have a screen time.
Okay.
Because it structures me a little bit more. Because sometimes I'm on the phone more than I probably should be day to day, and it's a reminder like you've been on the phone a lot today. So I have it for them, and you know at first my oldest is kind of like, and I'm like I have it on mine. You know, and I try to hold myself just as accountable as I hold them. So we set goals every month together. We set a personal goal and we set a family goal. The family goal is something that we need to work on as far as the house. The household is something that we all need to do collectively to help the household flow. And your personal goal is something that you want to like work on yourself. And I have one, and the goal is for everybody to hold each other accountable. So the 8-year-old, her goal is to cut off all the lights in the house. Keep the countertop clean. Tactic. You know, just something.
That is so good. I love it.
We discuss it every month at the first of the month just to kind of hold everybody accountable for something. Because I think, I don't know, I think that our parents, they weren't perfect, but I think our parents did feel as though they knew everything. Yeah. And so I try to teach my girls, I don't know everything, but I know a lot more than you. Definitely. But we still growing together, you know. I'm sure they can appreciate and I'm trying to like keep a little bit of a balance when it comes to that, where they're not fearful or they don't think that I think I'm superior and I run shit, but I'm still like I got stuff I can work on. You're
showing a little vulnerability too.
Yeah, I can work on stuff too.
Because there's a lot, like you said, our parents, they more so like it is what it is, and
that's the end of the line.
Yeah, that's that on that.
You can't tell me nothing because I know it all. I
always say about I used to get in trouble for maybe getting a bad grade or something, right? But I used to think in my mind, hey man, one of y'all come to the table and help me, man. I ain't know how to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. What was the help? You ain't help me do it. Yeah, you don't know how to do this shit. You know what I'm saying?
How you gonna tell me? Right.
When my kids, when I was raising mine, I used to be big on. I didn't even whoop them for grades, even though all my daughters were smart as hell. I just used to be more so conscious of making sure they understand.
Yeah, having those conversations.
But conduct, I'm on your ass. I'm on your ass about conduct. You know, you should get an excellent. It shouldn't be no S. You know what I'm saying? I was wrong about that, but when it came to the grade, I was more so making sure that they understood.
They understood, yeah.
And they grew up getting A's and B's. It was nothing to them to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I talked to them a lot about like from a psychology standpoint, so to speak, like explaining to them everybody's not happy with their job. You know, everybody doesn't come to work ready to execute and perform. So if you have a teacher that's lacking, you know, maybe they had a bad day, or maybe I try to teach them from that perspective because I had a high school teacher that He ain't like his job, and I ain't know this till I was grown. He ain't want to teach. He wasn't feeling it. He had some other issues going on, and it showed up in his how he, you know, how he responded to us. It was some other stuff going on. I didn't know then. I just thought he was mean, but looking back on it, it was stuff going on.
Yeah, that man got props.
He has some issues.
He had no business at the school. He was out of line.
Now, so I try to teach them, like, just kind of, I try to give them a different way of thinking.
That's really good. Yeah. That's a real good tactic. I admire that. That is something I wish I had back when I was raising mine, but they all grown now.
Yeah,
but that's a dope tactic though. Yeah. To set the goals and all that, and then hold everybody accountable.
Yeah, I'm like, tell me.
Can come and say, "Mama, you ain't."
I tell them,
whoa, now, Mama, you said you weren't gonna be eating on those sweets.
We no cussing this month. That's the goal for this month. No cussing.
Okay, and they get on your head when you get out.
The little one, yeah.
For real? What you gotta do? They got a jar, drop some bread in it?
Nah, it's just like hold me accountable. Okay. I said I wasn't gonna do it. So if you
they
point
at least
it out,
can pull your coattail.
Yeah, they can't get disrespectful.
Right,
but just let me know, Mama. You said
they can't say watch your mouth now.
Yeah, she said you said freaking way too many times. I said, well, I ain't say the other F word, so gotta give me a little grace. I'm working on it.
That's good.
Yeah, so I just always try to give myself a little something that I can tweak a little bit just to kind of mellow out.
I applaud that. That's great. So, and on that note, we're going to end it with discipline. Discipline is good. Yeah. I appreciate you coming out, Reva.
Thank you for having me. This has been a great experience. I wish you much success and longevity in your career and all your avenues. This is such a great platform. It's been fun. I've learned some things. I'll take away some things, and I'll make sure that I keep growing because I'm inspired. And I think that that's a great, that's a great takeaway. Okay. Leaving something being inspired, like, okay,
I appreciate
I'm going to leave it being inspired.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, that concludes this episode of Beyond the Clientele. Till next time, salute.
Salute. We salute.
Yeah.
Okay. We toasting. What we do?
We salute. We out.
We salute. Okay, we out.
Cut.
All right.
That was so good. So good.
Good. That was fun.